On Reddit you can find anything, but sometimes you'll stumble into some of the strangest parts of the internet you've ever seen. And in today's video, we're going to go over some of those communities. If you follow my channel at all, you definitely know that I despise AI. And sometimes AI can be entertaining. And this Reddit community is sort of one of those situations. It definitely is entertaining to look at from a distance, but when you dig deeper, it does get a little bit strange what the AI does. Let's talk about what this Reddit community is. Welcome to SubSim GP2 Interactive, a subreddit that is made up of mostly bots using the GPT-2 program. Now there are humans in this, and it was originally meant for humans to interact with the bots. And while you still will find some humans interacting with bots, you mostly just see bots interacting with other bots. And the outcome is kind of hilarious sometimes and a little bit shocking others. They have a flare that indicates whether it is a bot or a post being made by a human. This is helpful so you can't lose your mind figuring out what's a bot and what's a human. It's clearly stated there, so you can laugh at it a little bit easier. And a lot of the posts are nonsensical, like the one you're looking at. Do you think that in 2024 you'll be 20 in 2023? The post actually doesn't really make a lot of sense, and you'll see a lot of these, but sometimes it goes down a darker path. Instead of a random post by a bot asking if you got your dog from a thrift store, sometimes you'll get a post like this one that says, "When I was 12, I just wanted to ride a dildo." It's bizarre to me that the AI even decided to come up with something like this, and it shows one of the craziest dildos I've seen, definitely bought on Bad Dragon. With one of the top comments by a bot being, "This is so accurate it hurts." And then you can just read, you can follow along here, and you can see how unhinged a lot of these conversations get with these bots. One of my personal favorites posted was about a man with a gun in his mouth, man with a gun in his mouth, man with a gun in his mouth. This is the definition of America. And the replies to this get kind of unhinged as well, with one of my favorite comments saying, "This guy is getting way too close to the right people for us to even think of keeping him. He's gonna keep on breaking our hearts. We can't let him go on without noticing that. Our worst nightmare is coming true." To me, this entire Reddit page is entertaining, yet still really worrying at the same time, because obviously the bots are learning all of this from somewhere, and I guess if they read enough Reddit to learn how to comment like a Redditor, it does make a lot of sense. And maybe that's the most disturbing part about all of that. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys want to check out any of these Reddit communities, almost all of them in this video will be linked in the description. I'm gonna omit, I think, one or two, just because I don't think anybody should go there anyways. But I'm gonna say the titles, so I guess you could just go search it, but I'm not gonna link it directly. Delusional parasitosis, or more specifically, Morgellons disease, which we'll be speaking about, includes people who think that bugs are emerging from their skin and eating their skin from the inside or stinging them. White hair worm parasite is a subreddit dedicated to people who think that they have Morgellons. As you'll see in many of these posts, the people think that they have something wrong with them, but doctors are unable to diagnose it, or as the description of this subreddit says, it goes misdiagnosed, indicating that there is probably something wrong. Personally, I think it's more like a gang stalking situation where definitely somebody is being gang stalked, but then a bunch of people think they are. I think it's one of those situations, so it's probably only being misdiagnosed for some people, but for the mass majority, it sounds like they're just hallucinating. There was a post made where somebody says that it killed their dog. Now, it's a super long post, so I won't read all of it, but to sum it up, this person explains how they started having bugs come in and out of their skin, and their skin was falling off, and that it basically ruined every aspect of their life. And at some point, it eventually ended up killing their dog. And the comments are mostly just people feeding into the illusion and verifying exactly what the person has said about this disorder. Just scrolling on this website will give you some really weird vibes. People asking what this is or saying that there are bugs in their skin and recording what is pretty much nothing. Sometimes they do have some aspects of it where it looks like it might be something coming out of their skin, but it really is just like a little wound or something, that many of us would get without even realizing it. And they all are convinced that they are bugs. And while scrolling through here, you realize really quickly that nothing that crazy is just the most insane thing to these people. And also a lot of it is really, really disgusting. Now, I'm a pretty open-minded individual. I mean, hell, look at my YouTube channel. All I do is talk about the weird side of the internet all day. But there's a certain point where I draw the line. And these next 3 subreddits, I draw the line at, as far as kinks go. So yes, we will talk shit about people's kinks, right now, right here. But you'll see why. Hang with me. Girls in Pullups already automatically sends red flags. And of course, in the description they say girls in Pullups age 18 plus only, which I suppose I can live with. I am not one to accept somebody's age play kink, but it's not the end of the world until we start looking at some of these posts. So I'm obviously not going to show as many posts as I can because obviously I disagree with this stuff, but it's where the comments, they kill me. Like a comment like this: "Oh sweetheart, why don't you come let daddy check your diaper and I'll change it if you're ready. Do you need a stuffy to keep you company?" Now, of course, someone might just say, hey, they're having age play, but why would you have age play with diapers? That's the real question. And I wonder why all the women in these posts are wearing Bluey diapers, a kid's show, and there's so much fantasy around being the big daddy. And of course, there's an entire ring of these subreddits where they have the exact same premise for all of these. The girls try to look as young as possible. Some of them are drinking milk from bottles, and some of them are sucking on pacifiers. So if you think that that's just a fun little age play kink, I think you're wrong, and it's disgusting. And that Reddit is one of the most disturbing communities I've ever laid my eyes upon. And now I'm going to move along from that one so none of us have to ever think about it again. Let's go into the next one. It's a little more interesting than that. Incest Isn't Wrong is a community for support and positivity, education, and discussion of incest. This is certainly one of the wildest communities I've ever been on in my life. Sharing memes like this one where the boy texts the girl saying that mom and dad finally went to sleep, and then you realize that they are brother and sister. Or this one where the little sister is sexualizing her older sister. But the more concerning posts are ones like this, where this lady explains that her and her son have been having sexual relationships now. She explains how normal it is, but how much you need to communicate in order for it to work out. I don't think I need to explain why the woman raising her child and then having sex with him should be a crossed boundary for anybody. But the comments explain to us how much they support her and are happy for her. And while a lot of the comments are just asking questions or saying good advice and being mature about it, even though you can't really be mature about this stuff, one of the comments that disturbed me the most was when somebody said, "Fellow mother here, you go girl, yum." Now I'll have to be honest here, I didn't spend a lot of time on this subreddit because I was just shocked at a lot of what I was reading. But imagine if these roles were reversed. Normally, when a story like this is posted on there, it's from the woman's perspective, so the mother who raised her son and then sleeps with him. Imagine if those roles were reversed. I bet that nobody would be cheering them on. I didn't see any guys in here saying that, but imagine if the dad raises his daughter and then they're sleeping together. I just don't think it would be accepted as much. Maybe in this group, but I don't think the common public would accept it, and I don't think we would accept this either. So, one of the most disturbing posts I came across while on this subreddit was this post about a lady expressing her love to her brother for Valentine's Day, and there's this card written out that has all these funny puns and stuff about being incest with him. But interestingly enough, in the card she even states that they've asked before and the person said that it was disgusting to them. So why would you go ahead and give them a card anyways, yet again? I mean, if you've already been turned down multiple times and then you show up with this card and this rose, even in a normal relationship, wouldn't this be considered too much, almost at a stalking level? Like, he turned you down. Stop it. But the comments seem to just egg on this type of behavior, talking about how great it is that she expresses her love. Although I have to admit, I did see somebody saying that if they already turned him down, that she should stop asking. When I was talking about making this video, and this was one of the subreddits that I sent to a friend of mine saying I was going to make this video, they did express that most of this is probably fake and that they're people just role-playing because incest is like a fun thing to role-play. And I guess that might be right, but the subreddit itself is definitely not fake. Like, the creators definitely made it for this purpose. If people are in there faking it, that's what they're doing, but everything seems to be legit as far as I can tell. And it's not like there's a ton of active members, so it's not even that crazy of a thing if they're even role-playing. There's only a few people, so I don't really think so myself, but it's a possibility. The subreddit guro, I can't even really show any of the posts, but I can talk about it and show some people's comments within the subreddit. Essentially, this subreddit is just a giant thread for people to share gore. Most of it's animated, but some of it is made to look realistic, and people just talk about their desire to do things to dead bodies or dying bodies. I mean, hell, they even made a sex toy out of a head. To be honest, I don't even really want to read these next comments, so I'm just going to put them up. You guys can read them. I mean, I don't want to read them out loud. Of course, I read them. I'm not going to blur the words, and hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize this video. Here they are. So yeah, certainly one of the most disturbing Reddit communities I've came across, and of course, it could be another situation where these people are just pretending, trolling, whatever you might say. But when you get into this subreddit and you see some of the artwork, it's pretty clear that they are passionate about what they're doing and what they are looking at. And I believe that if they had a chance, they would look at real people and not just the anime. And some of them probably have found a way to do that, so definitely not just the anime, I'll tell you that. Some of those videos in there looked very, very realistic, and a lot of the people even set up stuff with sex dolls that look real. So definitely a disgusting scroll through that subreddit. And I know I'm only scratching the surface here because Reddit is such a big place. I know you can find even more disturbing communities, and in fact I have, and I just didn't put them in this video. Maybe I'll make another one of these if you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.